I remember growing up playing Tug O War. There would be 2 teams and 1 rope, and each would pull till they were sore. They swore that they would be the one to win, and in the end, someone always did. There were no ties, there was no overtime in Tug O War. So we would fight with all of our muscles, and we'd wrestle through mud with our fingers held tight. We would fight like our lives depended on it. We would stop for nothing, and others watching thought we were out of our minds, but we were warriors. We held on to that rope like it was all that mattered, and though the other team was passionately fighting against us, we were relentless. And now it's been a few years since I've played Tug O War, but my life has become a lot like this game. God used to be the center of my life, and I let him grab a hold of me. But at one point in time, there was another team. Satan grabbed a hold of me, and just like Tug O War, I started being pulled as God and Satan were fighting over me. And God, he held tight, and he would fight for me. But Satan did not come alone. He brought with him a whole team to help with his strategy. He brought with him insecurity, made me wonder if I was created beautifully. And every time I looked in the mirror and hated what I saw, Satan started winning. And he brought with him pride, made me think I was better than my parents, better than my leaders, better than my friends, pastors, and teachers. And so sometimes I would lie to them or make fun of them, talk down about the people that God had blessed me with. And in those moments, Satan's team was ahead. And he brought with him temptation, a desire to sin. He brought with him all my friends that did things I knew I shouldn't, but he made sin look real pleasant. It looked more like fun than sinfulness. And in those moments of weakness, Satan smiled as he pulled me in with sickness and deaths that made me wonder if God even noticed me, with failures making me wonder if God would ever forgive me, with a really busy schedule. So when I go to read the Bible, I'm actually too busy, with people I've loved who broke my heart. So I'm standing here wondering, seriously, what is wrong with me? Satan pulled so hard, it exhausted me. See, between good and evil, I am the fine line. But God's arms are relentless, and with them he urges your mind. For God, he fights for me. He sees Satan's tactics and the weakness inside of me, and he says to sin, you will not have the victory. And with the same hands that created the world and parted the Red Seas, he holds on to his child like a rope, and he won't let go of me. He brings with him compassion, because he knows that living in this world isn't easy. He brings with him healing, because he knows the brokenness my heart is feeling. He brings with him forgiveness, because even though I've failed, he knows I'm still trying. And he brings with him salvation, because he loves us, and he just loves showing mercy. And I stand here undeserving. My sins I can keep counting, but he fights for me, and he fights for me. And just like Tug O War, I am learning he will fight with all of his muscles, and he'll wrestle through our mud with his fingers held tight. He will fight like our lives depend on it. He will stop for nothing, and others watching may not like his light, but he is a warrior. He holds on to us like we're all that matters. And though the enemy is passionately fighting against him, he fights for me, and he fights for me, and he fights for me. And his arms have already fought through death. His arms have already fought through sin. His arms have already fought through hell. So no matter who I've been or what I've done, he relentlessly fights for me still.